tough 2-hour, 45-minute commute, and you got a lot you got to get off your chest. I just want you to know we're ready for you.
And there's a lot I had this week. I even could have
got the whole crew here with
Downs. Will you be quiet and let me talk, Steve?
Whoa!
I could have sat there and I could have killed Churchill Downs for giving Baffert the extra year suspension so they wouldn't have Baffert win another derby and ruin their 150th anniversary, which was Bush. But I decided not to do that.
Okay,
I also could have killed Jimmy Butler telling me about the Celtics and the Knicks when he's hurt. I could have done that. But I'm going to start with Fat Rob in Rapid. I got to do something with the hockey to keep me into it. So what did I do? I bet the Leafs. Why in the world would I bet the Leafs against the Bruins? They were a plus. I figured eventually Boston would lose the series to Toronto. They had not lost a series to Toronto since 1959. I thought eventually Toronto would win a Game 7. They haven't won a Game 7 since 2013. So I watched this series progress. It's 3-1 Boston. The Leafs get a goal in overtime in Game 5. They get a little hope. It's 3-2 back to Toronto. They win Game 6 2-1. Wow, look at this. And Austin Matthews is not even playing. I play golf on Saturday. I par 17. The Hickey Diesel pars 18 and win a big match at Shorehaven. So I'm all pumped up. And then at night, Matthews is back in the lineup, and the Leafs score in the third period. 10 minutes to go. I don't believe it. I'm going to make a fortune. I picked the Leafs to break a bad streak at the right time. Boston scores a goal 90 seconds later, and then in overtime, they win it 2-1. Me like an idiot with that fat guy in Rapid losing again on the Toronto Maple Leafs. It ruined my weekend. Number one.
All right.
Well,
that's a good one, though.
No, Fat Rob used to be a priest at the Vatican, and now he's your bookie. So
it's not my bookie, it's my friend who makes bets with me.
Sorry.
But
you got nobody to be mad about yourself, by the way, on that.
That was a bad one. All right. Number two, if we talk about the commissioner in the NBA sometimes being soft, how is Patrick Beverley not suspended? Did anybody see this last week at the end of the Indiana Game 6 on Friday night in Indiana? When he threw the ball into the fans twice. You know why? Because the fans said 3-2-1 off season when they were in the huddle on their last timeout, and Beverley took exception. So he threw the ball twice to the fans who are spending a fortune for the games. That is completely out of line and too late for an apology. Furthermore, did you hear him after the game? When a poor woman there was doing the interviewing and he wouldn't let her ask a question to him because the question he said, do you listen to my podcast? She said, no, I don't. And then he said, well, I'm not talking to you. You got to leave. And then he put his hand on the microphone when she persisted. Patrick Beverley, I wouldn't hear his podcast if I was in my living room and he was doing it across the street. What a disgrace. He's not good enough to be acting like that. This is not Jerry West, okay? This is not Magic Johnson. For him to throw, he should be suspended for 40 games. How in the world has Silver not sat there and thrown the book at him right now? That was a joke what Beverley did. And then what he did to that poor woman in the freaking locker room after the game, after they lost, I'm not talking to you because you don't listen to my podcast. Calm down, son. Calm down. Number two. You can't argue with it, Stevie.
Stephen A., you go first.
Can I say this? I'm not going to try to argue with it because I was very disappointed in Patrick Beverley, and I said so on national television. And, of course, the suspension is imminent. It will come down. I promise you that. He's going to get suspended. But number three, I don't give a damn who you are, whether you Patrick Beverley or even if you were Jerry West. There is no excuse to do both things that he did. With Melinda Adams, a producer here at ESPN, a field producer here at ESPN who was the one asking the question, and he shooed away, and throwing the basketball not once but twice and accidentally hitting the woman in the head the first go-round. There's no excuse for it. I love Pat Bev, but it was indefensible. I have no supportive words for that. None.
All right. You guys all agree, I'm sure?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lockstep.
Lockstep. All right, number three. All of my fans on the little radio, the few I have, kept on calling me up the last couple of days. Wow, you have to watch this Tom Brady roast. It was the greatest thing in the world. I couldn't get it off. Couldn't get enough of it. Edelman, Belichick, Jeff Ross, is that his name?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, the whole bit. So last night I've had a bad leg, little swollen meniscus, but I forced myself on a nice day to go run 5 miles. I come home after the radio at 6 o'clock. I get the Netflix. I put the thing on. What garbage! Oh my God, Kevin Hart, you're not that funny. Okay, sorry. Jeff Ross coming in with this freaking OJ thing on number 32. You're not that funny either. The girl's not that funny. Randy Moore stunk. Edelman's not that funny. Bledsoe is not bad. He was the only one. How does Brady subject himself to that nonsense? And I am not a prude, okay? I can deal with the language. But, I mean, they're not Rodney Dangerfield. That was the worst piece of garbage I have seen in a long period of time. That was worthless. And you got Bob Kraft, who should be sitting home eating cookies and watching I Love Lucy reruns before he hits the sack. Sitting there watching this. He's 85 years old. Bob, act your age, for crying out loud. This is my, what, we're going to go out there and make fun of Giselle for 4 hours? This is the idea here? We're going to sit there and kill Gronkowski? I understand he's a bag of rocks, but enough of killing Gronkowski. Leave him alone, for crying out loud. It's not that funny. How did anybody spend money for that nonsense? That was a piece of garbage, and I did the advertising with it. The advertising on Mad Dog Radio. So I sat there and I watched it. Enough of the language, enough of Kevin Hart. I don't care if he's 5'1". Enough of that too. High five, you can't high five people. Here's the bottom line. You can use all the humor you want, all the bad language you want. Be funny. Be funny. Nobody in America was funny. It was the worst piece of garbage I've ever seen in my life. And you know, okay. Jeff Ross, take it easy, all right? You're not funny either. I wouldn't go pay for Jeff Ross. None of them. But I could do a better job than that. Awful. I was disgraced.
Kevin Hart was hysterical.
Oh, my God.
Rob Gronkowski was good. Julian Edelman was funny. I'm sorry, Doggy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. That's why he's always bringing up stuff from 1920 and 1930. You have lost your damn rocker. They did an exceptional job. Exceptional. Tom Brady was great. Kevin Hart was great. Tom Brady's teammates was great. Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft was great. It was a Kevin Hart, bravo. You did a hell of a job. Don't listen to that damn Mad Dog Russo with his crazy ass self. You got to be crazy. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. That girl was listen. That girl Nikki Glaser, she was off the charts. She was fantastic. They did a great job. This is Netflix. This ain't Nickelodeon. Stop it. Stop it. She killed it. They were great.
And they took 3 hours.
They were great. They were funny.
We didn't need 3
they
hours
were
of that
funny.
nonsense.
You don't laugh. You don't laugh at anything. It was fantastic.